Hi, my name is Rohit, and welcome to my channel where we talk about self-love, soul love, and divine love. Today we're going to talk about what is love. It's something that philosophers and poets have talked about for hundreds of years, maybe even thousands of years, and still we're struggling with the mysteries of love. We sometimes think we found it, we think this is the one, and then somehow that love dies out and becomes just kind of meh. So what is it? And I'm going to unpack this mystery for you and help you find the secrets that everyone's been searching for on what is authentic, true love. We've been fed all kinds of stories about what love is. We've been told that it's about this perfect person, the knight in shining armor who will come and save us and take us into paradise and we shall live happily ever after. Have you ever got that experience? Have you lived happily ever after? Or did your love affair result in lots of squabbles and fights and pettiness and arguments? Did it somehow kind of fade? Did it somehow kind of turn into something ordinary? And did it somehow melt away and maybe even be lost? I'm not sure what your experience has been, but I've definitely been through the ringer. And that has been hard, unpleasant, and difficult. So I've had to learn. I've had to figure these things out. I've read extensively. I've researched. This has been my greatest passion. And I've tried to come up with some answers. I wrote a book called Loving Soulfully, which some of you may have read. And if you haven't, just go to lovingsoulfully.com and you can download it for free. Okay? So let's get on to the topic. What then is true love? If it's not the fairy tales, if it's not the stuff we've been told, then what is it? I'm going to tell you something that most people haven't said to now. Probably this will be entirely new. Consider this possibility. That love is not a perfect person. We all think it is. We're looking for the ideal mate and we think that that's what we need to find. If I could only find the one. And what I want to share with you is this. The one is something way more than you've ever thought. But you'll get to understand that when you understand what love is. So let's talk about what happens when one partner leaves. Let's say your relationship breaks up or you're divorced or whatever else. And then you go through a period of mourning and lamenting. And then finally you find another person and you say, oh my God, this is the one. I finally met you. Until that kind of fades and crumbles and goes through the same cycle. And then it breaks up. And again you are back to being lonely and alone and wishing you could find the one. And then again one day it happens. And then once again you say, now I found the one. But what if, just consider the possibility that love was not about a person, that love is an energy. If you look at the poetry of Rumi and Hafiz and some of the greatest philosophers, they all talk about this incredible love that most of us don't even get to experience. A kind of love that they have felt and experienced for decades. It didn't just come and go, it didn't fade. They talked about that as divine love, something that came from a much greater source. What if love is an energy and that love energy is the energy of the divine? Divine meaning that which some people call God, but then because that word kind of gets all messed up, I'm going to stick to the divine. What I'm trying to get at is this. If you want to understand it, this energy is actually all around us. It's in everything. It's in everyone. But what is important is to learn to open our hearts and open our minds and get past the conditioning so that we can actually feel it. I'll be talking to you about in different videos about how to do that. But today let me just kind of give you the outline of where we're going. So this energy is something that when you open your heart up to a person, flows from me to you. And from you to me. That's kind of how that flow of energy happens. What blocks it, what messes it up, is this. Our mind, our ego, we start thinking, well, how could you talk like that to me? Like, wait a minute, this is not okay. You shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. We start trying to control love. And when we try to control it with our shoulds and our expectations and our needs and our fears, it starts to diminish. Where does it prosper? Where does it thrive? That's a great question. What I found is this: it thrives when you are present. When you put aside your mind, your ego, you leave it outside the door of the temple of love. Think about it like this. Picasso would say, when I enter to paint, I leave my mind outside the door the way a worshipper, like usually at a temple or mosque, will leave their shoes outside that sacred place. In the same way, we need to leave our mind and ego outside the door of love and enter empty-handed, naked, ready to take whatever love gives us, whether it's good or bad, positive or negative. So love thrives in a place of openness and surrender. It thrives in a place where you're truly present to your beloved, when you're willing to dance with them whichever way it goes. If they move back, you move this way, you move that way. You're ready to be flexible and fluid. You're not attached to particular points of view. You're not hung up on certain needs and expectations. You're not trying to control them. When we meet someone and we fall in love with them, what we try to do at that point is we name this person as my girlfriend or my boyfriend, my husband, my wife. And the result of that is this mind factor comes in. Now, spiritualists in the East have often talked about this, that when you say something is mine, mine is the cause of all attachment and suffering. So whether it's my property, my car, my house, my bank balance, my partner, the same thing happens. That is, that this attachment causes us to suffer. This attachment causes us to want to hold on. We are so attached that we actually cause the relationship to break. By controlling our partner, by trying to get them to do things the way we think they should, we end up destroying the very love that we created in the first place. Instead of seeing them be who they naturally are, instead of allowing them to be the way they were, the thing that made us fall in love with them, we try to make them something that they're not, maybe the way we are, maybe the way we want them to be. And all of that causes love to wither. So if you want to avoid that, remember this, that love cannot be controlled. Love cannot be changed. Love cannot be owned. You do not own anyone. We came alone into this world, we will die alone. Yes, we have our partners to be there to give us so much of wonderful companionship and intimacy and all kinds of incredible experiences, but we do not own them. They are not our possession. They are not our property, and we cannot treat them as such. The next thing that makes love thrive is selflessness. Love is about being able to step into your mind and for you to step into my mind, for you to see what I'm talking about or thinking or feeling or experiencing, and for me to do the same for you. When we're able to step out of our needs and try to take care of our beloved's needs, we step into selflessness and out of our ego. We step out of our own head and into our beloved's head. We step out of our own needs and into their needs. When we start to do this, we actually create a place that is truly special. This is something no one will do for you. But you may say, well, then I'll be taken advantage of. I will be used. I will be manipulated. Yes, you're absolutely right. This cannot happen unless both people are doing it for each other. If you are both looking out for each other, if you are both looking at each other's needs and what makes each other happy, then it will work beautifully. But if it's only a one-way street, forget it. That isn't going to work. Love is a spiritual path, which means that all the things that you need to do to tame your ego, to awaken your soul, to come to the place of connection with the divine, all of that is what love is calling us to. Love calls us to go past our own thoughts, our own history, our own attachments, our own wounds, and to come to a place where we can love and be loved. It is a spiritual path because it causes the awakening of the soul. If you truly want to love, then you need to love in a way that is way beyond anything you've ever imagined up till now. And I hope that you will go into downloading my book and checking it out, because there's a lot in there. I'll be talking about it in the upcoming videos, and I hope you'll be there with me. Till then, if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel, and make some comments. I really love to hear from you, because your comments help me understand what I need to create, where you're at, and how I can understand your needs better. Thank you so much, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.